In this lecture, we will see 4 other ways in which we can interact with GitHub Copilot other than with the chat. And to illustrate this, I'm inside an empty directory inside my computer. I will create a new file. I will call it, let's say that I want to create an email parser script or function, and I will call this email. I called it email parser.py, and this will be a Python file. And as soon as I open any file, any empty file inside my workspace, if I have GitHub Copilot enabled, you will see that I will get this information. Press Ctrl I to ask GitHub Copilot chat to do something. Well, as I said, we will see 4 different ways in which we can interact with Copilot directly from inside our open files. The first one, or the first one which I want to point out, is by using comments. And here I'll say this file will, maybe say right here, will handle. And as you can see already, as I am typing inside my file, inside any file, GitHub Copilot will try to understand what exactly I'm doing. And this is an important point in which you need to understand. This is something called ghost text. As you can see, it is something grayed out. It's something that GitHub Copilot came with. And I have multiple options in which I can accept this suggestion or parts of these suggestions. Usually I can accept the whole suggestion if I press tab, or if I will click accept right here, or I can accept part of these suggestions, words, with control. If I will have control pressed and then I use the arrows, I can simply move on inside the suggestion. I can press tab, and now this text is completed. If I will press enter right now, GitHub Copilot will proceed, to try to give me some suggestions. So you saw the first way in which we can interact by using comments. The next way, which is also very powerful, is by using or by providing function definitions. For example, here I can say def parse email. And this, if this is a popular use case, and many times this will be the use case, then GitHub Copilot will know what to look for, or will try to give me some suggestion. This suggestion is really strange. I don't want it. So I will just add right here a file path, and let's proceed with the implementation. At some point GitHub Copilot will know what I want. Well, this is what I want. I want first of all to parse a email file from a file path, and yes, I want this with open file path as f. All right, then I will want a new message. So here I will say as file right here, I want a file, and here I will say maybe message. All right, is email message from file. This is exactly what I want, but I need this import right here. So I will add this import from email, and then also try to add some headers. For example, I can say right here, access email headers. All right, as you can see, as GitHub Copilot gets more context about what I want, it will try to suggest me an implementation. All right, yes, I want the from, I want the to, but not in this format. Maybe I want also to print right here from, like this, and then like this. All right, then it will try to, as you can see, as I pointed out a way in which I want this to be printed, it will offer to do the same in a different way. And also maybe the subject, yes, the subject also appears. And also let's access the email body. Already it knows this. All right, let's see if we get this implementation. No, maybe if the email is multi-part. Yes, this looks all right. If the get context type is text plain, I accepting this. Else, let's just simply print the payload like this. Let's see if we can test this function right here, and I will simply try to use this. So here I'll say parse email, and then maybe with an email file. Email dot in an EML file like this. The problem with this implementation, which I'm currently doing, is that I don't have an email.eml file, and if I can simply create it right here next to this email.eml, but I don't know how an email file should look like. Well, can GitHub Copilot give me some assistance? And maybe I will specify right here. And now we will see the third way in which we can interact with GitHub Copilot by using the GitHub Copilot dialog right here inside the file. I will ask right here, please add some email content right here. Let's see what it will do. All right. That's great. This is exactly what I wanted. I wanted to have a nicely formatted EML file to see if I can simply execute it. Now I can simply try to execute my code generated with GitHub Copilot, and I can simply call Python and my email parser. And yes, as you can see, here I'm getting the email content from my file. Well, this was the way in which I can interact with GitHub Copilot. Let me show you one last way, which is also very interesting. For example, I can interact with GitHub Copilot directly from VS Code. So this will be only specific to VS Code. I can simply select a chunk of code right here, maybe this one, and I can go to select Copilot and do some GitHub Copilot commands, like for example, fix this in case I have something not working, or explain this, or generate docs. Let's generate some documents for this function. I will select it and I will generate some documents. All right, I will accept this. This looks all right. I have now a professionally looking documentation for my file. So we saw in this lecture how we can interact with GitHub Copilot. We saw 4 ways and how we can use it to write great code.